right, let's get right to it. Let's go out to the phone lines. Bring in ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins. Is the season, the postseason. Paul Calvisi sitting in for Luke. Ron Wolfley over there. And Kendrick, I'll be honest, I've had a hard time getting a straight answer out of Ron Wolfley today. So I saw where you are on Twitter. They asked you about the Kings' chances against the Warriors, and your quote was, "They don't stand a chance in hell." So I'm looking forward to your straight shooting today about the state of the Suns. Let me start with this. Do you believe that NBA teams can flip the switch? Because I'll be kind, the Suns have sort of meandered through the regular season, but they seem to be playing their best ball now.
I do believe that with veteran teams, right? Veteran teams is because they do have an on and off switch. But, you know, when I think about the Western Conference and I think about the Phoenix Suns, yes, the bar was set high because you got Bradley Beal, you got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker, and rightfully so. They're not a trash team. They're not an average team. They're a really good basketball team. They're just in a great conference. And so when I look at, you know, what they have, you know, if Nurkic could be a star in his role, and when I say a star in his role, like do big man things on a consistent basis, pounding the glass, defending the pick and roll, setting good screens, being a ball mover in the short roll. If Grayson Allen by the way, congratulations to Grayson Allen for the spring struck today. But if he could be that shooter that you need to be, you have enough. But here's the thing with the Phoenix Suns. It's going to solely come down to how much sacrificing is the big three going to be willing to make. And you bring Bradley Beal in to move the needle for you, to get you over the hump, so you could be one of the top 10s. When Bradley Beal's performing at his best, the Suns are a completely different team. When he's not involved with the offense as much, they're not so great. So I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns. Look, I think that matchup with Minnesota is going to go 6 or 7 games. I actually picked Minnesota to win the series, and it was a hard pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Suns win that series. I would not.
Yeah, for the most part, Perk, it's a situation where, listen, I played 10 years in the National Football League as a former player. It's hard for me to respect an opponent who, you know what, is going to give you a great effort one game, and then the next game you're not going to get the same kind of effort. Consistency, I think, is really, really important going forward. And the Suns have been a very inconsistent team. But if I'm hearing you correctly, you think they can flip that switch in the postseason, correct?
I can. But it's going to – and I know people will be like, oh, Perk always picking on, you know, Kevin Durant. I'm not picking on him. I just be wanting KD to get uncomfortable and uncomfortable with his leadership, right? We're talking about a guy that's going to go down as one of the greatest basketball players ever. Yeah. He's already top 15 in my eyes. We're talking about a 2-time NBA champion, a 2-time Finals MVP. Like, I want him to get uncomfortable with his leadership. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, everybody lead different ways. No, like, to me, consistently, I want to see a leader like when they had Chris Paul. Because, to be honest, they really haven't had a leader since Chris Paul left. That vocal leader, a guy that's going to hold guys accountable. Kevin Durant, are you going to go get the ball and be the point forward at times in the fourth quarter where y'all done struggled a lot this season? You know, are you going to be an extension of Frank Vogel? If he could do that, which I know he can, then absolutely the Suns are a real threat of coming out of the Western Conference.
Kendrick Perkins, ESPN NBA analyst, our guest here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. I think it was 2 months ago. It was an ABC game. Halftime, you and Bob Myers lamented the fact the Suns did not have a true bona fide point guard. What do you think about Bradley Beal in that role? Because he has excelled at times after they made that transition.
Did I say that? I probably did, right? But here's the thing. I know everybody kept saying that you know, the Suns need a bona fide PG, right? That's what they're – but I do feel like that Bradley Beal, KD, and D-Book are all underrated playmakers. But it got to be a change in mentality. Like, if you're going to embrace that role, then embrace it. I was part of a run with KD when he embraced that role when we was with Oklahoma City and Russell Westbrook went out and he won the league MVP. I watched him get his and get Serge Ibaka involved and get Big Perk involved down on the low block at times with easy dump offs. So it could be done, but they got to want to do it. And that comes back to the point of sacrificing. Am I going to pass up 5 or 6 shot attempts of me taking a contested 2 to get somebody a great look who's wide open? And I think, when you look at those 3 guys, they all have the capability of doing it. I think Bradley Beal could do it at the best, you know what I'm saying? But right now, there's nothing else to play for. So it should be easy for all those guys to lose themselves in the team, because the only thing that you're playing for right now is to try to win the championship. But I do think they still could get it done without having a quote-unquote true point guard.
Right, but once again, Perk, you picked the T-Wolves in this series, and I'll just ask you why.
I just think the physicality of the Timberwolves, I think it's built for the playoffs. I think you give Karl-Anthony Towns, a week of rest. They're going to have the preparation. But I just think of their perimeter defense, man. You look at Mike Conley, old school Mike Conley. He's 31st in the league in opponent's field goal percentage. Anthony Edwards, he's 10th in the league in opponent's field goal percentage. Jaden McDaniels, he's 4th in the league in opponent's field goal percentage. And then when you have Rudy down there, it's like, okay, y'all just got to fine-tune some things. And I know the Suns been spanking them in the regular season, but the little chirping at the end of the game could have sparked the fire for them. But I just been really high, and I'm really sold that consistent defense is going to win you championships. And I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves' physicality might overshadow the Phoenix Suns. But again, I got the series going 6 or 7 games. I haven't put out my prediction yet. I think it might go 7, but I still wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix win it. It's a hard series to pick.
Last question, few moments left. Could Bradley Beal be the heartbeat of this team, even with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker as part of that big 3?
I mean, they brought him in for a reason. It's a reason that they're top heavy. That's what everybody say, right? It's a reason why, everybody keep throwing around the first apron and second apron. I still don't even know what the hell that means, but I just keep hearing about it, right? Cooking apron, whatever you want to call it. But he can be that piece to get them over the hump. Like, we saw a flash of what he had, 36, 38 last night.
36.
In the must-win situation. So I think he can be that guy, right? When it comes down to Bradley Beal, it's all about his health. Like, how healthy is Bradley Beal? That's what it solely comes down to.
So you asked about the luxury tax. I'll tell you what it means. It means the Suns are on the hook right now for more than $100 million just in luxury tax alone this coming season. What does the rest of the NBA think about the free spending ways of Matt Ishbia and the Suns?
I don't know. I know one thing. If the Suns win, then it was worth it. It's worth it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Joe Lacob has shown, with building a dynasty over there in Golden State, that you got to pay for the talent.
Perk, I got to ask you this. We only have a matter of seconds left, but I have to ask you this. If there's one thing the Phoenix Suns have to do to beat the T-Wolves in this series, what is that one thing?
I believe it's going to solely come down to who is going to defend Karl-Anthony Towns. And I think that person should be Kevin Durant. I think he has the capability of doing it. That's going to be the X factor. If they shut Karl-Anthony Towns and take him completely out of this series, the Suns is going to win it.
Perk, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate
you, buddy.
Y'all.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you. Kendrick Perkins there, who, remember, went from high school to the NBA, won an NBA championship in 2008 with the Celtics. So there you go. And by the way, he has the T-Wolves in 6 or 7.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.